So you're now on the final episode of my series where I'm finding out what life is like learning Spanish at a Spanish school and living there. I've lasted a whole week so far and found lots of challenges along the way, as well as exploring the day and nightlife that Valencia has to offer. So if you haven't been following on so far, just tap the card above me. Oh, and also if you're interested in doing the same thing yourself, I'll be revealing information on prices and what you get when you finish the course at the end of the video. Okay, all done? Ready for the final episode and seeing if I can speak Spanish fluently? Yeah? Okay, let's go. Oh, just finished day 9 at school and my brain is a bit frazzled. I mean, there's just so much to learn, and just the infinitivo and the plurals and the adjectives and the verbs and putting them into sentences and then different actions. It's just a little bit going in, but also a lot not going in. I could do like an extra hour with like a free teaching session. I think my brain is just all over the place, and also because it's quite hot today, I'm just gonna go to the beach. Yesterday was good. We, learning at the end of each word, you've got the ir, you've got the ar and the er, and the different verbs on how you change it. That was good to learn, but today just a bit more confusing. Yeah, just gonna go to the beach and just work on the tan. Just like kind of just de-stress myself. Hey, welcome to day 10. Today was, although hard again, because the teacher is making us how to construct sentences together using all different verbs and adjectives, nouns, and all that kind of general basic stuff, forming our own sentences. It is a bit difficult just putting things the right way round, and yeah, it's a little bit different to English. But it was also quite a funny lesson, bit of jokes and that, as we were asking questions and providing answers for one another. 2 days left, Thursday and Friday, 2 days left of school, and yeah, that's it. It's kind of flown by actually. 2 days still. I'm gonna try and attack it and try and complete it. I believe that we pick up a certificate, get like an evaluation on how well you've done. Andy does not know much. He only can say hola. And that's probably it. The British people that I met last week and hung out with them the other day, they want me to go out with them for dinner and then to a club tonight. I mean, I didn't really want to go to a club on a school night. Do I want to have a late one? Because I did go out last night. Maybe not drink a lot and maybe get back at a reasonable time so I can still perform at school tomorrow. That night I went out again with some British people I've been hanging out with, and the club was just full of just such a young crowd. It's becoming to be quite the common thing in Valencia, just so many young people.
Diferente. Normalmente la sepia doesn't throw ink. Yeah. Es un poco diferente.
The next day I was back at it with school, and here you can see how small my class is, with also the teacher constantly talking in Spanish but explaining some things in English, which I really liked about him. If only my mate there would just stop looking at me while shooting and nearly getting me into trouble. So that's it, all done. Day 10 at school is finished with. We have finally made it to the end. Day 13 overall, but day 10 at school is finished, complete. In all honesty, I'm kind of glad that it's done and over with. Kind of thinking like I can't really hack any more days. I just still feel like I'm not really progressing much. I feel like I need to learn more, use more apps, and even maybe talk to Spanish people online. I need to wait until I get to a certain level before I come back to a school, for example. I definitely want to keep going on at it. I would have thought that I would have progressed a lot more going to a Spanish school. I can only presume it's to do with that first week where I wasn't really picked into the right class and it was a bit all over the place. I kind of had a feeling something like that might have happened, because you have to do your written and an oral test, and I think I said before I was placed into a higher level, so I wasn't a complete beginner, and that's why I was moved around so much, because I kept finding it a bit difficult. So if I was just in the right class to begin with, who knows, maybe I might have progressed a bit more. But I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's a good experience, pretty cool, nice going back to school again, and yeah, just living like a local in a different country. It's quite nice. And then oh, these bloody flies in this boat. I might try and fit in some tourist attractions. I was thinking about maybe the aquarium or the science museum. There's a lot of free museums, like arty museums to go to, which I'm not really that interested. I feel like once you've seen a few art pieces, in different countries, you've kind of seen them all. Quite bad to say for some people, like, no, everything's different, but yeah, it just doesn't really please me really. So I said goodbye to some of my students and some of the teachers. Had to do like an online evaluation of how things went and how some of the teachers were, and then they're supposed to email me like a certificate or a diploma. But yeah, it's just nice that it's over with now, and now I can just enjoy myself. So we're just gonna continue sitting in the park here. Probably gonna get ready to go to the beach soon. I'll go back to my apartment and yeah, just go to the beach, sunbathe. I just left another club, a popular club on the beach. Pretty fun, pretty cool, good music, good dancing, but I'm just a little confused. Being an English guy in Spain, a single English guy approaching Spanish women and speaking to them, they seem to have like a guard or a defense up. They're just not interested. There's like a hatred towards English people. I don't understand the amount of times that I have spoken to Spanish girls and said, do you speak English? Or if I've had a conversation and I say anything to do with English related, they're not interested. They walk away like, no. Like, I don't understand. Do Spanish people dislike English people? I'm really confused, and it's really getting my back up. And it's not just one time, it's multiple times it's happened. We're going up to people, having a conversation with them, saying anything to do with English. Do you speak English? Or I'm from England, and they're like, no, don't speak English, or not interested. I'm like, no, I speak Spanish as well. Like, no, okay, what do you want? It's like, what's wrong with just having a conversation? Why are you getting your back up? Why are you having such a guard? I really don't understand. I've been to Latin American countries and people being cool. I don't know if it's Spain in general or just Valencia, but Valencia people just in general, I don't want to offend anyone, but they're not nice to English people. I don't really understand. Are English people, do we have like a bad rep? Do we have a bad name for ourselves? Literally the guard comes up, no, not interested. Get away from me. No, don't want to speak to you. It feels like I need to not admit to people here that I'm English. I'm going to stop going to clubs now. I'm going to see if that has something to do with it. I'm just going to go to bars instead, where you can talk to people, where it's not as loud. Maybe it's just some certain people. It's kind of making me think, what's the point in coming to a Valencia? Or just Spain, maybe in general, because no one likes English people. I'm being really nice. I'm not argumentative at all towards anyone here. I'm not being offensive to anyone. I'm just literally just being polite and just being nice to people. Anyway, I've left this club. I'm now just on the beach. I'm going to try and find a bike to cycle home. I hope that it hasn't come across that I'm being offensive or anything towards Spanish people or Spanish women in particular. I'm going up to people, just being friendly, and people just like, what do you want? Why are you talking to me? What? Just what? So why are you being so aggressive? I'm just literally just talking to you. As soon as I say anything English related, what do you want? What's your question? What? Get away from me. What? Like, what have I done? I've never really had this reaction from people before. It's really upsetting, confusing. Maybe it's the young generation, because a lot of the clubs, they've been young people. Maybe it's, Generation Z? I don't know. Just being friendly with people and just saying, how's your night? And what's your name? And how are things going? Just general friendly conversations. Don't get me wrong. I have spoken to people and they've been really nice. Even tonight in a previous bar, I was having a conversation with a woman, and she was really nice, easy to talk to. And I said, we're going to this particular club. It's a very young crowd. I wouldn't go there. I said, it's okay. But check it out. Hi. Welcome to my new place. Just checked into my Airbnb, but my room is nice and big. Lovely double bed. I've got a TV, air conditioning up here. A nice little balcony. So yeah, here for a few days. And regarding last night, yeah, maybe I did go on a bit about the women's situation. When I got back, one of my housemates was awake. I spoke to her about the situation and she just said that, yeah, she agrees it can kind of be like that. Some certain people just expect you to know English, which is fair, which is understandable, but just to be that rude, yeah, is what it is. I haven't noticed it with older people, just seems to be just young people, you know, only a few. I'm not saying all people are like it. I mean, even just to check, I messaged one of my Portuguese friends. I know they're not Spanish, but near each other, country-wise. I said the same thing. Do Spanish people like English people? And she said the same thing. She's been to Spain and she felt like more older people, though, can be rude to not just English people, but foreigners in general. They don't like it. If you don't speak Spanish, they get really rude and call you names. I remember one time I was in Brazil and I was using Tinder. I matched with one girl and messaged her. She was just really rude, saying, if you're not going to speak English, why are you coming to this country? How dare you do this and this? I'm thinking, what? For you to go to any country, you have to be fluent in the language? Like, no, as long as you know like a few words and you're just generally just nice and polite to people, you know, get by with that. That's all you need. If I want to go to Japan, what, so now I have to learn Japanese, the whole fluent language to be able to go there? It's just ridiculous. I'm not saying that all people in Spain are like this, but I've just noticed that a few are like it. I guess these are just very narrow-minded people that I've spoken to, but hopefully any other people we speak to are just generally nice, because why have any negativity towards people? I don't know. Well, that's it. The last day, and we are pretty much all done. We just came out of the Science Museum. It's pretty cool. There's quite a lot of exhibitions and interactive things that you can do, which is nice. Just got literally a few hours left to spare, so I've just come to Turia Park, which is right next to the museum, and just catching the last minute rays before I go back home. I feel if you were coming on here on a holiday, I think 2 weeks is way too much. I mean, at least a week, if that. There was times when I'm just thinking to myself, what do I do? I'm running out of things to do. I guess if you do stay here longer, it's probably worth just renting a car and then going further afield or driving up or down to Alicante and Barcelona. But am I fluent? Have I completely progressed in learning Spanish, which this whole video is kind of about? And the answer to that is no. I mean, as I said before, I've learned a few words and I've kind of understood why words are put round in different ways, and past and present and future, like things like that, I kind of have a bit more of an understanding about now. But in terms of what I really wanted to achieve coming out here was being able to have non-stop conversations, and not just your conversations like, hello, how are you? I'm from England, thank you. You know, I don't want that. I want actual proper conversations, which I'm unable to do. I still find it hard listening to different accents and how fast they talk as well, which, you know, I'm not the only one. You know, everyone I've spoken to, they've felt the same. I was speaking to some guy who knows 4 or 5 different languages and he's quite good in all of them. And he said, I think he did about 1.5 years of learning Spanish back when he was in high school or university. When he finished, he didn't know how to have a conversation. It's only just by keep on practicing it, he eventually just picked up the ear for it, and I'm sure that that's probably going to be similar to me and everyone else. I wasn't expecting, 2 weeks I'm just going to be able to just pick it up just like that. Of course not. One thing that I am pleased about going back for is I don't really rate the nightlife here. I feel Valencia, there's a lot of clubs, and I'm not into my clubs anymore. I'm done. I'm too old for them, and it's really hard to hunt out the good, decent bars, because there's a lot of like cafeterias, just literally like little independent restaurants where you can sit outside and drink, which is what a lot of the locals do out here. And I don't want that. I want a bar environment. I still want music and, you know, being able to dance, and then like a packed crowd and standing up, you know, instead of sitting down in tables, and a bit hard to talk to people that way. So I don't know where all the proper places are, but going to the places where I have already, I found that there's a lot of non-Latinas here, or Latinos, a lot of Dutch, a lot of German, some Swedish, no Spanish people. And if I have, then like I said before, they were just a bit rude and don't really want to strike up conversations whenever they hear anything to do with me
being English or speaking English. I mean, even last night, exactly the same scenario. We went to an Irish pub, live bands playing, and yeah, it was quite fun. There was a Spanish girl sitting next to me, and I just thought I'd just strike up a conversation and said, are you here on your own? Because she was on her own, and she said yes. And I said, do you live here? She said yes. I said, do you come to this Irish pub a lot? Is it good? And she said yes, it's good. And that was it. She didn't say anything to me, pretty much gave me one-word answers, and I just thought, what's the point of me going even further than this? It's not just one time, it's not two times, it's a few times now where, yeah, just talking English and Spanish don't like it. I'm not saying that all of Spain is like this. Maybe it's just Valencia, maybe it's just a bit of a young crowd. I'd like to try different Spanish cities and see if there's any difference. I think I was speaking to one person here and they said that the nightlife in Madrid is meant to be really good, so I'd be keen to try that. The only reason why I chose Valencia, because everything's really close together, the small city life and walking around aspect, and then you've also got the beach as well, which is what I really wanted. Going to Madrid, a big city, if it's sunny, you know, where do you sunbathe? You know, just parks or go to swimming pools. You know, you want the beach, really.
And that's it. I hope you found this a bit of an insight into not only what it's like living abroad, but most importantly, the life of learning Spanish at a Spanish school. So I studied at AIP Idiomas, and once you finish your course, you'll be provided with a certificate. Only by email though, shame they don't print it off and laminate it. Also, it's in Spanish, not English, but oh well, I understand, it's a Spanish school, duh. It pretty much says, Andy Bradley has successfully completed a 2-week intensive Spanish course, 17 hours a week, with a class attendance of 90%. Not really quite sure because I was there every day, so a bit weird. From September 19th to September 30th in level A1. You can understand and use common familiar expressions and very basic phrases that seek to satisfy a specific need. You can introduce yourself to others and ask and answer questions about personal details such as your address, people you know and things you own. You can interact simply as long as the other person speaks slowly and clearly and is willing to help. Yeah, definitely, they need to speak slowly so I can understand what they're saying. I mean, I think that's what the certificate says anyway. I just literally translated it all in Google. Now, for the 2 weeks of being there, it cost me around about £575 or 645 euros. That's for the accommodation, the 2 weeks accommodation, and for the 2-week course. That's not including your flights and your food and expenses, you know, what have you. And that was on a discount at the time. You know, I'm not too sure if they do regular discounts. However, at the time of this recording, I looked on the website and again, there's another 20% discount. It certainly seems like it's just a discount all year round. But this was fundamentally one of the reasons why I chose this school, because not only was it the cheapest, but pretty much all the language learning schools offer the same package. So I just went with this one. You can make it cheaper if you don't wish to take their accommodation and just find one yourself. However, I thought it'd be better as you'll be with other students of your class and learning together and talking in Spanish with each other. Yeah, I thought it'd be cool. Yeah, it didn't really work out like that because I was put in a shitty building with a bunch of Italians that live and work there who had nothing to do with the school. They weren't even students. So yeah, no idea why this was the case. I mean, they were cool people. I got along with all of them, but I just would have preferred students and students from my class. I mean, that was the whole reason why I went there, to learn Spanish with students. So if you're gonna take their accommodation, just check with them before you go. But all in all, I'm really glad I did it. It was a cool experience. I made some memories and I got a taste of what it feels like to live in another country. If you're thinking of doing it yourself and need any advice or tips, then just let us know down below in the comment section. But thanks so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.